Do you know what subway surfing is?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
You do?
No, of course not. I would never risk my life like that.
Okay, so I didn't know. I just found out I was like, people died by subway surfing, but like I thought subway surfing was just when you like ride the subway, like no hands, no lean.
My sister got straight married this weekend.
Oh my God, congratulations to Frances.
Yes, Frances, secret number is 4.
Forever. Congratulations on your lifelong marriage.
Yes, a commitment to last a lifetime, like
commitment
what
to
my
last a
surgeon referred to breast implants is. Not my surgeon, but somebody I'm considering. We'll be in touch. When you're listening.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Living a lot of the characters in August Osage County.
That's
How
what
about you?
I'm doing for Thanksgiving every
What are you
fucking
doing for
year.
Thanksgiving?
I go home and I'm Julia Roberts in August Osage County.
Welcome to Stream Queens, the pod.
I'm Erin.
I'm Julia.
She is the indie darling of the Tribeca Film Festival.
And she's the Emmy Award-winning producer behind your favorite television shows.
And this is Stream Queens, the pod. It's the world headquarters of rage bait and misinformation, as well as, really in truth, it's the definitive take on television, pop culture, and whatever we stream together in our house as roommates.
And let me tell you something. You're in rare form today, Vi.
These little blue things are my best fucking friends. We watched August Osage County.
Yeah, what's that? Can you tell people what August Osage County is?
Yeah, if you're not familiar, August Osage County is a 2013 American tragicomedy film directed by John Wells. It was written by Tracy Letts and based on his Pulitzer Prize-winning 2007 play of the same name. This film stars an ensemble cast which includes Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Juliette Lewis, Margot Martindale.
Character actress Margot Martindale.
And many other highly famous people. But those are the ones I care about most. Yeah, it's kind of jarring. Everyone in this movie is a gigantic celeb. And they're all playing a dysfunctional family that reunites at the family home when their patriarch suddenly disappears. And that's kind of what's going on.
And that's kind of what is going on in August Osage County, which for you geography heads is in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's a Midwestern movie.
What do you know about life on these plains?
Yeah, and that's exactly, if you were wondering, chat, that is exactly, Julia's doing a spot-on perfect impression of Meryl Streep as Vi in August Osage County.
Who's kind of... Talk about lived experience. Her relationship to drugs, like Meryl Streep is a drug addict.
Yeah.
She gets everyone back in her life because husband's gone missing. So 3 daughters led by the incomparable, wickedly talented Julia Roberts, who has a very pivotal line. Like, this is a power struggle movie where she goes, you don't get it, do you? I'm running things now.
Yeah, it's really the tension between Julia Roberts and Meryl Streep is off the charts in this movie. It is about, like, you know, cycles of kind of poverty and family and what is going to happen when all of these strong personalities, when everybody has to come together for something like a death or suicide. And
for instance,
yeah, this film started as a play, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you asked that. We of course streamed it for the pod. I think the first time that we watched it
a couple years ago.
You feel it, right?
Well, yeah, because I think you hadn't told me that. You just were like, you gotta watch. I think it was actually after. I think this was shortly after CW, my dad's suicide,
Right.
and then I went home and I was like
describing. You had a lot to deal with,
I was
dude.
describing my experience,
Yeah.
and you were like, I think there's a movie that may represent this kind of on the nose. And I was watching and I was like, oh my God. But I don't think you told me it's a play. I was like, hey, is this a play? Because it's kind of giving, this is a play.
The dialogue is very snappy.
Yeah.
And also, like, everyone, one thing that we love, I mean, also, like, when y'all get the chance to see Sister, my Tribeca film, we give everyone a hero shot. There's 3 characters, but, like, everyone, it's like mommy's home, and then, like, a studio audience clapping. Like, you can tell, like, every character has an entrance with such great introduction. Julia Roberts' husband, for example, played by Ewan McGregor. And you're like, Ewan McGregor is here? And they're all complimenting him on his weight loss, which very Midwest, talking about appearance, talking about weight.
I mean, don't even get me started on Benedict Cumberbatch's hero shot entrance when he gets off the bus and he's crying because he's like, I slept through my alarm. He missed the funeral.
Little
folks.
Charles. Now, not only is the dialogue like very sharp and that back and forth, but like it's set in one place. They all come to a house. Like,
Yeah.
there's long dinner scenes that I think, how do
Yeah.
you feel about, because you can tell it's a play, but do you feel as if it didn't work as a movie or it did work, and why do you think?
I think it certainly works as a movie, but it feels like a play, and I can tell the effect is different because it's like the nature of theater is so ephemeral. So I've been watching a lot of plays recently because I realized, I guess I've always known this, but lately I've been acting on my intention. I've been kind of practicing what I preach, which is like, if you live in New York City and you do not regularly see theater, there's no point in being here. Like,
No,
I literally,
move to
that is the
Oklahoma.
one thing this city has, as opposed to all the other major cities that also
LA.
have restaurants, nightlife, all these other things that you might like about New York.
You could do Chicago too. That's where Tracy
That's what I mean.
Letts
There's so
came
many
up with
cities.
Steppenwolf,
Yeah,
the
but
playwright.
But theater, that's New York City, and you should go see more theater. But theater, like this play, like you leave theater like changed, right? And this, I can see how much seeing this in a theater would change me, and you're moved,
Wreck
and you're
me.
you'd be wrecked, and you'd be moved in this different way. But it's not necessarily like, I guess, I mean, the ephemeral nature of theater is such that like it doesn't feel like a hard and fast claim. What it moves within you is ostensibly what it's about, where I feel like when
sure.
you put it
Yeah.
on film, it seems to be making these kind of, there's a definitiveness to it that
Right.
makes it feel like it's making a hard and fast claim. Like when you take what one was an ephemeral, moving kind of performance and you film it, capture it, solidify it, make it an object, make it something you can revisit and go again and again and again, it now has this really like this clarity and perspective and in claims that the playwright is making. It becomes less fluid, I guess, is what I mean. So it's not to say it's not
yeah.
effective. It's just less.
Fluid. When you say less fluid, that's maybe where it clicked to me. Like, it's a play almost as jigsaw. Like, pieces click to see the whole, and like, if film is the like director's medium is visual, right? Playwriting especially it's dialogue heavy. This is a very dialogue heavy movie. That's why a lot of like playwrights and TV writers are similar, because it's about the dialogue. This happens to be a very beautiful movie at the same time, but like, there things that you would never do in a movie include like long stretches of sitting and talking, like big winding monologues has happened throughout this, which is antithetical to what we understand to be movie making. But like, as a play, this shit clicks so good. That's what I
Yeah.
like about play 2 is it's like jigsaw. It's like, yes.
Yeah, and I do think this is the best version of like an adaptation of a
Yes.
play, because it still feels so much like a play, and not insofar as it's not a live taping of a Broadway show. It's not Hamilton on Disney Plus, also fabulous, but that's you pretending
Fab.
you're in the audience of
Yes.
a Broadway show. And they could have done this that way, but they didn't. They do it, it's a film, they're on location, but you're right, like it's not visually striking. It's just amazing performances, dialogue, and you feel like you get to really sit with character actors doing what they do
Yes.
best and saying dialogue that is so, I mean, every word in this play is thought through, perfect. These characters
Yep.
are all, they're archetypes, but they are rich with, the actors bring so much depth to each of these archetypes. And this family dynamic is just magical, and every person, like, you know, you spoke of like the hero shots of people entering the story, they all also get to have their moment, right? Every character gets kind of this arc, and they get this like punchy moment that, you know, when you go see a play, you expect every character to have their like, well, that was his scene,
Yes.
he finally got to have his, you know, like, and this movie does that in a way that not every,
which perhaps is what feels so satisfying about this, and what I often feel unsatisfied with movies. Like, there's an open-endedness to movies where I feel like there's a clarity or certainty to playwriting specifically.
right? And because you think about it, right? Like, even like, you know, characters and props, right? You don't have any, there's no extraneous characters in this. You don't go to the funeral, right? So
Nope.
you don't see all of the other people that the dad knew. You don't see, they talk about the priest or whatever who officiated the funeral,
Yes.
but you don't see that person, because in a play you're not going to have a whole actor on screen, like, or on stage for just one moment. You only have to play with the characters you have to play with. And so this film really stays contained in that. And it's
fucking awesome. And one of the great dinner scenes, a couple great like scenes at a table, but one of the great dinner scenes ever.
Yeah.
Which the actors not only bring to life, but with the playwriting, Tracy Letts is bringing, from what I understand, like a lot of lived experience.
Let's talk about Tracy Letts.
Yeah,
let's
friend
talk
of the
about
pod,
Tracy Letts because
Carrie Coons' husband.
Carrie Coons' husband. We gotta get tickets to that. Yeah. Speaking of play, y'all, actually, I don't even want to tell you about this. Let me gatekeep. But let's talk about Tracy Letts, okay? Because what do you think Tracy Letts, like, what are you getting at, buddy?
Tracy Letts. Okay, so Tracy Letts is an Oklahoma native.
Yeah.
And I looked up, I always am shocked when a man writes women well. I'm shocked when anyone writes women well. It's
shocking.
It's an undescribable experience. It's that indescribable feeling you get when the lights turn off. Is what being a woman is.
Yeah.
And he puts those dynamics so well. Like, I was like, he makes Meryl Streep the matriarch of this family. He puts her through it. Like, she's one of the worst characters I think I've ever seen. There's no redemption for anyone, to the point where my mom's watching when I showed it to my mother, because this is one of my favorite texts. It's fucking awesome. And she was like, they are so mean. I hate this. And I'm like, so this is actually us.
Well, they're not mean. It's truth telling.
It's truth telling. And
why is everybody going on about me being mean? I'm truth telling. And I guess that's really my question, is like, what is the truth that Tracy Letts is telling with this text? This whole text is all about truth telling, and this family is, to some people who didn't grow up how I grew up, people look at this and go like, these people are really, really mean, almost to a point of like, is this even realistic? I can see how some people are like, wow, no family is this mean.
And that's what I wanted to share is his mother, Tracy Letts' mother, said of the depiction of her mother, who Meryl Streep is based on, she was like, I think that Tracy was pretty generous.
Pretty generous.
And this woman is evil.
Evil.
So I can't imagine whatever Grandma Letts was like.
Yeah, and evil, but like also, I do think that it's not that there's no humanity in this piece, because like
it's oozing
the backstory and how she came to be such a hard and cold and evil woman.
Who's obsessed with manipulating people with that information.
Yeah, and yet it does not provide any redemption, as you said. It's not enough. There's no justification. There is reasons,
sure,
but it does not justify how you became this cold, nasty person.
What do you think Tracy Letts is saying about family, or what is family in this?
Well, I mean, the dialogue explores this concept multiple times. Like, there's a scene with the sisters where one of them says, like, something along the lines of like, don't pull that sisterhood. Like, don't try to evoke sisterhood in me. Like, what? Just because we all came from the same kind of clump of cells, that means we're sisters? You don't act like a sister to me. I don't feel that way about you. And then Julie Roberts is like, oh, that's cynical even for me. And I think, like, it does continue that question of, like, what is family? What is drawing these people together? These people who do not like where they come from, do not like each other, resent each other, do not get along, don't have happy memories ostensibly together, as far as I can tell.
No.
What continues to bring these people together, other than the fact that they share some amount of DNA? And then there's the ritual of people come together for these events. Like Vibe, Meryl Streep has a great line in it too, where she says something like, I know how this goes. You all come home and we do this, and then everybody leaves and goes back to their own lives, which is what a lot of family is, right? It's just big events. It's deaths. It's weddings, although not in this case, because Karen, played by Juliette Lewis, is getting married and does invite Meryl Streep to the wedding. And she says, I don't see that happening. Do you?
I fear that I vertently or inadvertently absolutely ripped off Meryl Streep's personality in this.
Yeah.
Which
I could see you delivering lines like, you, no offense, of course, with all love and positivity, you do love to make comments on women's appearance.
Yeah, that's how I was raised.
In a similar way to Meryl Streep.
What do you know about life on these planes?
I'm thinking of the line where she goes, the only woman beautiful enough to go without makeup was Elizabeth Taylor. And she wore a ton.
Right, because you were like, this movie is about truth telling, and there's another line where Julia Roberts is like, "Don't listen to her; it's the pills talking," and Meryl Streep says,
The pills don't
can't
talk.
And I disagree. Like, it's both, right? Like, Meryl Streep's claim that no woman is beautiful enough to go without makeup, and she has this entire worldview that is based on women get ugly over age, and that's about half her dialogue is like, I'm not saying women don't get prettier with age, I'm saying they get ugly.
Yeah.
And that beauty, age being together in that way, like, just because Meryl Streep is saying something in this movie, it's not true, right? Like,
right, but when a matriarch speaks with conviction, it's hard not to believe them, and that's what can create so much of the family trauma too, right? Like, is like when everybody believes this matriarch who's speaking this way, and then you like are like, fuck, now I have all these backwards ideas that I have to go out of this place to go unlearn, and then every time I come back here, you haven't changed, and I still have to deal with the way this made me feel back then.
And now I'm in my patterns.
And that's the other claim I think Tracy Letts like is making in this play that is so, I think, hard to get around. I saw when reading the description, there's something about a lot of critics just were like, this is too dark. And I'm like, it is dark. This is a very hopeless, like, outlook on life is what's represented in August Osage County, because there's narrative resolve for everyone.
Yes.
You know, problems are presented and they're solved in whatever way they are. Like, people have arcs, but there's no resolve in the humanity of these people. They are burdened and, you know, stabbed in the heart multiple times over, and they're not going to recover.
No.
You know, like, everyone in this film is truly irreparably damaged, and there doesn't seem to be any like shining light. There's no beacon of hope at the end of this
God doesn't
movie.
exist in this world. Like, this is a godless.
This is godless.
Film.
I agree. It's very, and it's so, yeah, because the only like hope anyone has is to get out of Oklahoma, get out of the plains. But even still, you get glimpses into their lives outside of this place, and they're not good either. You have each of the sisters represent something different. You have the one who stayed. You have Ivy, who's has stayed in Oklahoma, taken care of their mom and dad, is resentful about it, and then only just fell in love with the only man she's related to, her first cousin, little Charles, Benedict Cumberbatch. And then you have Julia Roberts, who ostensibly is the smart one, who got away, who was supposed to be a writer, who got married, had a kid, has moved on with her life, but also actually, as it turns out, is separated from her husband. Her daughter fucking hates her. She's not at all happy, and has so many qualities, shares a lot of qualities with her mother. Someone who tried to was always dad's favorite, but wanted to separate herself from her mom, is a lot like her mom. And then you have Karen, who lives in complete and utter delusion and projects onto men and will accept anything to live in a fantasy world. I mean, she can't even accept that her father has committed suicide. She's like, we don't know that for sure. When, yes, we do. Of course we do. She cannot accept truth, right? And so they all have these different relationships
to
truth, to the family unit, to each other. And none of them have a path forward towards what we might call happiness.
Well, that's one thing that you and I kind of identified early on in terms of like our shared Midwest culture is like happiness isn't really a virtue or a goal that is expressed. Like, certainly my parents told me they wanted us to be happy, but it wasn't like happiness was a goal like job, a goal like marriage, like happy. It's like, that's something about being landlocked too. When you don't have the ocean, it's like, okay, our world is here. And that's kind of it.
I do always think that, like, because I do think like happiness is a goal, and this kind of like these more lofty spiritual ideas that you can be on a soul level fulfilled, I do think comes from like looking at the ocean all the time and feeling that sense of inspiration when you're landlocked, like that's not on the horizon for you. It's more of the same. You just have this like, I don't know. I think when you look out at the ocean, there's like there's future, there's hope, there's a
Adventure,
distance, possibility. Yes. And then when you look out at the plains, like where we're both from, like when you like you're just here, you're dropped on this earth, it's pretty flat, and like this is the existence that you have, and like it's a really
there's not purpose, there's just is. Like, what's the point of life? It's like Julie Roberts says it. Survive is all I can ask of you, because like to ask for, that's true, that is a very Midwestern perspective. It's like I'm not looking for you to become something transcendent, to become transcendently happy or wealthy or successful or artistic. I'm just hoping you survive. Which that would be enough. Can be a tall order when literally you're in hell. Like you feel the oppressive heat throughout all this movie. One thing in this viewing that I think maybe I was able to think about a little bit more like crystallized is I've always wondered, the movie starts with the patriarch who disappears as what's the gal? Juliette Lewis's character? Doesn't matter. I'm literally my grandmother. But one thing I noticed like in this viewing is I've always been curious about Jonna, the Native American character.
Yes, the caretaker.
Introduced in the beginning. She is there throughout at the end, and there's within the first part of the movie there's a conversation about Native inhabitants of Oklahoma.
Whether you can say Indian or Native American, like basically someone calls out
Native, and Meryl Streep is like, she's no more Native than I am.
Well, she says something about like if
which is untrue,
right? But to call what she calls Indians, to call them Native Americans, she's like, you might as well call the dinosaurs Native Americans. That it doesn't mean anything, because it's like but to her it doesn't, right? She was born there,
right? Though what I was kind of able to maybe come up with like a thesis this time is like Jonna is left holding the destruction of these white people,
absolutely,
who have taken everything from her ancestors, such that her only economic opportunity is taking
to work
care
for
of
the worst family in the world.
To Meryl Streep.
Yes, and it's so like that last shot does say everything, because it's like,
yep,
you hire her, bring her into the world, and then she has to witness firsthand this insane amount of toxicity and on these people who claim her ancestral land, right? And then they just come on it, say, I was born here, this is mine, and do nothing but take and have toxic dynamics, and they're not even happy about it.
No, and they
have no appreciation for where they're from, what this land is, for family, for each other. They're just this kind of scourge on what is ultimately Jonna's like land, right? Yeah, it is. And it's interesting too. I think that goes back to what we were saying about like the Midwestern perspective too, of not having like hope for future and stuff. You also lack a lot of context. You don't think a lot about where you fall in a political or socioeconomic spectrum. You just think about where you are and how you get through the day. Like you don't really think about the structures and the history that led you to be there. Like you don't feel a part of something bigger at all. You just feel like you are where you are. Dropped in.
Yeah.
The only like shred of hope that I see in this text is the text itself, and that Tracy Letts wrote it. It is the idea that out of an experience like that, you may be able to produce art which speaks to it with such, articulate depth, and like just that to represent it is, to me, like that's the only redemption and guiding light you can get from this text that makes it worthwhile. I mean, I think that about my own life all the time. I'm literally like, well, this all had to happen for a reason, and it must be so that I can do something with it and transmute it into something. So Tracy Letts' ability to transmute his family trauma into this story that has affected so many people is the hope. And that hope also lends itself to, he got to tell this story and transmute this trauma, and out of it produce some really, really beautiful stuff. Like, for example, Meryl Streep's most incredible performance to date, where you just know she's having the time of her fucking life playing this character.
Wait, save the date. For my birthday, I want to do an August Osage County table read birthday.
I'm obsessed with this idea. You're going to be Meryl.
Well, it's my birthday. Yeah, I get to be Meryl.
Okay, can I be Julia?
Yeah, of course you can be Julia.
Oh, we're going to have so much fun doing that.
Wait, the casting alone.
I'm so excited.
I've been rehearsing for this my entire life.
I want Evan as little Charles and Amelia as Ivy.
I'm flipping my goddamn lid.
You're
Wait,
shaking
watch
at that, right?
this space.
You're
I'm like,
right.
I
want Esther as
vibrating.
Maddie Faye.
Manny Faye.
Manny
Fuck.
Faye.
Yes.
I want.
Wait, this dream casting.
Can we get Tessa Bell in here as Karen?
Yeah, I want. Is there a spot for my little friend?
For Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Can we get Jane in as Well, who am I missing?
I'm like, can she be Jonna?
Jane can be Jonna.
Yeah, she's a little quieter.
Yeah, Jane can be Jonna. I love
I'm
that.
like, I don't see her. I mean, who do we want for the dad who we never get to know? The uncle.
I know.
He's awesome. Well, we'll
Anyway,
have to
we'll
cast
finish
this
the
later.
casting.
But obviously,
I mean, let's talk about the casting of this movie and the performances.
thought.
Yeah, and like it's not to belabor the point because y'all really need to go watch this movie, but like I would love to hear, I mean, maybe as a preview for your birthday, could you give us some kind of your favorite lines from Vi?
Right. The way that I don't want to divulge or get into the amount of like being an addict, being addicted to pills in particular, with opioids, like, why is she so mean? When you're anesthetized, when you are so numb all the time because you're so high, drama and conflict are one of the few things you have left to experience sensation.
Fuck. And talk about like the not acknowledging the kind of politics in the world around them that leads them that place. Like the opioid crisis is so explored.
Yep.
They go see the doctor and are like, why are you prescribing our mom so many fucking pills? Like,
And she's like, well, your mother's a very sick woman.
it's like, no, she is sick in the head because she's a fucking drug addict.
Because you've addicted her to drugs.
Yeah, 100%. And just like the rampant alcoholism, as Vi describes her husband.
Yeah,
That every day they talk about like a lot of reading of his poetry for 50 years.
They're like,
no. Yeah, she's like a lot of, whenever they're at the funeral or after the funeral, she's like, yeah, they talked a lot about his poetry, but he was a world-class alcoholic for 50 years.
as his crowning achievement.
Yeah, his crowning achievement was for 50 years. He was a world-class alcoholic. It's incredible.
The smoking, there's a line where Meryl Streep unfortunately has mouth cancer because of all the cigarette smoking.
Yeah.
And her daughter's like, Ma, are you really supposed to be smoking?
Is anybody supposed to smoke?
Literally being being a cigarette, is anybody supposed to smoke?
Being a cigarette smoker who has active mouth cancer.
Bing, is so good. Or
Yeah.
you already shouted out the Elizabeth Taylor one, which I
so
love.
fabulous.
There's when Julia Roberts is trying to get them to eat the fish at the end. I can break shit. See, everybody can break shit. You don't want to break shit with me, motherfucker. Like her yelling, eat the fish, bitch.
Eat the fish.
Eat the fish, bitch. Like,
Eat the fish, bitch.
so well. And even to the way it starts is life is long. T.S. Eliot. Not the first person to say it, not the first person to think it, but he wrote it down. So now you have to say his name after it. Life is long. T.S. Eliot. Which is a little Tracy Letts coded where it's like, he wrote it down.
Yeah. Not the first person to experience this, not the first person to have all of this kind of life and this kind of history, but he wrote it down and now you got to say his name after it. And I'm thrilled too. Tracy Letts, what a fucking talent. Julie Roberts, fucking talent. Character actress Margot Martindale, what a talent. Everyone in this movie is
Out of control.
out of control at the top of their game. It's a fabulous film.
If you don't, I would love chat. Let us know, like, who do you identify most with in August Osage County, because the characters are so well defined, so well represented, and basically kind of written from the memories and blood of everyone who's ever been.
Yeah, and also chat, let us know if you watch this film, don't relate to it all because your family is like really nice and sweet.
Yeah.
Invite me to Thanksgiving for
Aaron needs somewhere to
for
go
the
for
here too
Thanksgiving.
after.
Because it can't be August Osage County.
I can't keep going to August Osage County.
I'm Julia Wendt.
I'm Erin McKeon.
This is Stream Queens the Pod. Make sure you listen to us on all podcast platforms, and you can check us out on all the socials at Stream Queens the Pod on Instagram and on TikTok.
Thanks for listening.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, folks. It's next week. We got a heavy hitter for Thanksgiving. We can't wait to talk to y'all. You're in for a treat. You're in a rare form tonight, Stream Queens the Pod.
And what form would you have me in?